Mad Knicks giving a recap of Knicks rumors, Knicks news, Knicks everything. Let's just get right into it, man. Sorry for the layoff, you all. You know, people on Twitter have been asking, where you at, K-Malls? Where you at? Where's Mad Knicks at? Listen, man, I've been working strenuously. I had a birthday that just passed. Leo season, you already know we up. Leo season. My birthday was on Tuesday. I'm now filming this now on Thursday. It's just been a whirlwind of things. So I'm now finally getting around to it. And, you know, it's kind of good timing, man. There's actually some Knicks news out there that have accumulated throughout, I would say, the past 8, 9, maybe 10 days, if it's been that long since I've recorded. You know, it kind of worked itself out, but promise you this would be the longest layoff, man. You know, it's just kind of how the luck of the draw, man. But let's just get right into it, man. Went to the Natural History Museum, see the trophy. Went to go see it at Tiffany's couple months ago and now seeing it at the museum. You know, not really much there, man. I mean, it's pretty much a small wall where the trophy is kind of like just implanted in, and it's not really much, man. Guys, I mean, if you're gonna do trophy viewings, I mean, make it more than just it being a photo op, man. The Tiffany one as well, but the one at the museum, man, it's like, yeah, okay, you can't touch the trophy. All right, I get it. But I want to see the engraving. I want to be able to view it, look at it, see the details. I don't know, man. I was expecting a little more than that. It was a small summary. It wasn't really much there. I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting a little too much, man, but I thought it would have been a little bit more than that, especially at the museum. The museum is huge. I mean, I walked through the first floor. I was exhausted just going through the first floor. They could have did a little bit better with it, a little bit more presentation. But what can you do, man? And the Tiffany one, pretty much the same thing. It's a photo op. You know what I mean? Now, this one was a little better. The Tiffany one, I stood outside for 2 hours, 3 hours, damn it, to go see the trophy, which was only a 10-second photo op. And they didn't want you to take videos. This one right here was a little better, but it was a free for all, kids. I don't know, a little bit better than that. But hey, it is what it is, man. I got to see it. So to some Knicks news, man. One, Jeremy Shohan, he signs a deal to go to Portland. He gave us a play or two. The famous going behind Wemby. I don't know what that was about, but Wemby shoots the 3 late second at the end of game 5, and Shohan is guarding him, and he goes behind him, a behind the back contest. I don't know what you would call it. Wemby bricks it. OG throws the ball up in the air. You know, Shohan was a good locker room guy, I'm assuming. But as far as on the field, as far as on the court, not really much there. But hats off, man. Hats off. You know, you got a ring. I'm sure you contributed on the back end that us fans can't quantify. We couldn't see it, but the players will say, nah, Shohan helped by all means, man. So, hey, hats off, bro. Trilogy, James Edwards III of The Athletic. It's a report. I don't know if he's reporting it. I don't know if he's just saying it. It's kind of murky how I'm looking at it. But the Knicks are not going to offer Cat the max extension. Can't say I'm surprised by that, him not getting the max. I mean, for this team to really compete, he has to take a pay cut, man. He has to take a pay cut. And, I mean, I think Jalen set the precedent with taking a pay cut, and I think Jalen is going to get the full max when he's up for it. So it might be Josh and Cat taking a little bit of a pay cut. Mainly Cat, I can see that, with Cat taking the pay cut. You know, that's a tough thing, man. It's a tough thing. I get it, understand it, man. Max extensions and taking pay cuts have been a common thing. We're going to get into that next. It's going to take Cat, and I'm seeing, you know, I think 272 was the full max. Everybody's putting out there what they assume or the kind of extension they would like for him. You know, I saw one tweet out there where they were saying basically him taking a $72 million loss. You know what I mean? Like, if it's $50 million per year for those 4 years, he gets $50 million. So it comes up to $200 million for 4 years. That's an enormous pay cut, man. If he does that, man, hey, that would be amazing, man. That would be amazing. Nothing much respect for Cat if he were to do that. If he doesn't do that, you can kind of understand. Cat is in his 30s, 31, I believe now. I don't know. I see Cat being the kind of guy to do it, but it's a tough thing telling people to take a pay cut, man. It's a tough thing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I know people look at the number and they go, well, it's 200 and something million. And I mean, you're still going to be rich regardless. I understand that. I get it. But players have been speaking about it for years, man. You pay an entertainment. First of all, Uncle Sam takes half. Then you pay an entertainment tax. You know, it starts to really accumulate more and more and more. Your bills, your whatever it is, whether you are or aren't getting endorsements, how much are you accumulating with your endorsements? I mean, and then this is the money you gotta have for the rest of your life. This is it. These are the only times you're gonna be able to capitalize on these big paydays. So yes, 200 million, or let's just say half of 200 million. Let's say Cat, he does get 200 million, and half of that 100, and then whatever taxes he has to pay, and whatever his fees, he has to pay his agent, he has to pay his team, whatever. And at the end of it, it comes down to 80 million for 4 years, or 75 million for 4 years. That has to be that for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Like, and you know that's a tough thing, man. That's a tough thing to see 200 go down to 75 million, man. It's a gut punch. It's kind of like, you know, you seeing all these ex-NBA players who have had big contracts in their lives. Now, you know, of course there's some anomalies. I think Shaq is good as far as financially. I think maybe Charles Barkley might be okay too. You know what I mean? But definitely Shaq is good. But Melo has had big contracts. T-Mac has had a big contract. Vince has been in the league for a long time, got some good money. But these guys are getting jobs. These guys are working TV. They're still trying to collect paychecks, trying to get endorsements, trying to get money, they're still chasing a check. So it's like, you know, it's really not ever enough. But for us as fans, we're like, man, what's the difference? It's more money than we got. I understand both sides. The assumption is the Knicks is not going to offer him the max extension. So maybe they got something brewing. Maybe they got a wink deal with Cat, and Cat is going to take a pay cut. That would be amazing if he does, man. But if he doesn't, I can't really fault him, man. I can't really fault him for it, man. So, and I believe he only has a year left on his deal. I believe his contract is up. He has a player option next season. So that's the 2027-28 season. And even if he opts in, he will be an unrestricted free agent for 2028-29. So it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one, man. I mean, he will be taking a massive pay cut if it does come down to him, presumably it being 50 million a year. I mean, last year he got 53 million, and this year he's gonna get 57. Next year he has a player option, 61 million. So I mean, you know, again, not like the most ridiculous cut in the world, but it's a cut. It's a cut, man. So it'll be tough. Speaking of pay cuts, man, I didn't want to get into the rumor mill news, but let's just might as well get into it because since we're on the topic of pay cuts, man. Draymond put out a clip. This clip was 2 years old. Him speaking about Josh Hart should be taking the pay cut. It shouldn't be Jalen Brunson. He said Josh should be taking the pay cut. Josh put out a tweet, you know, grown men. Let's get to the point where grown men aren't checking each other's pockets. Draymond is a chick. Like, he's really a chick. Like, he's a female just thirsty for people to see him. Like, that's just what he is, man. He got real feminine type ways, man. So he comes back out telling Josh, yo, I wish you wouldn't wait 2 years to say something. And it's like, Draymond, honestly speaking, Josh probably ain't even know about it, man. He probably ain't even know. He probably just realized it. Somebody reposted and he saw it thinking that you just said it, not realizing you said it too. Nobody ain't paying attention to what you saying, Draymond. Don't nobody care, bro. Like, you think you're the most interesting person out here, man. You really not, bro. Josh not thinking about you. Nobody not thinking about you. It reminded me of when one of the post games, I believe it was game 4. I think it was game 4 of the finals. And Jalen, was sitting on the post game. Draymond is sitting there at the post game, and then Jalen joins them, and then Draymond looks at Jalen and says, yo, I'll apologize if you win the next one. And Jalen looked at him and just nodded his head like, and for me, how I read the nod was like, what are you talking about? Either A, what are you talking about? Or B, whatever. Nobody don't care. Like, You acting like Jalen was gonna be like, yeah, I get to win one. So now, Draymond, I heard what you said. So eat your words now. Draymond, don't nobody care, Draymond. Don't nobody care, bro. You think people care. People don't care, bro. And damn sure none of the players care. And Josh, you telling Josh to take the pay cut. Josh ain't getting paid that much money to take that much of a pay cut. How much of a pay cut? Josh is getting paid the right amount of money that he's deserving for, man. I think Josh is in the 20-something million a year. Josh signed 4 years, 80 million. That's about right where he's at, man. Like, that's fair. Like, that's not an absorbent amount. That's not like he's breaking the bank. That's what Josh is worth. I mean, if he take less, great, but that's all right for him. That's cool for him. Like, you know what I mean? So I just didn't understand it. But regardless of what Josh is getting, man, because I don't think Draymond even looked at what Josh was getting. I don't think Draymond even cared about it. He just single-handedly picked Josh for some reason. And it's like, bro, why does it matter, man? What does it matter, bro? Worry about the Warriors, man. Like, y'all worry about not getting out the play-in, man. You worry about everybody else, man. Like, just do your thing, man. More with the whole taking a pay cut news. Carmelo Anthony comes out. Now, this is another old one, but it's kind of been recirculating now since we won the finals about, you know, Melo on Jalen taking the pay cut, and Melo saying, you know, Paul George, it was on Paul George podcast, and Melo was like, I'm not taking 113. Like, I'm not taking $113 million pay cut. It wasn't really $113 million. It would have accumulated to like 30-something million, really what Jalen took the pay cut is. If he would have not taken the extension and waited an extra year, he would have gotten more money, but he just took, I believe it was like 140. He just took it like, no, I'm just going to take it now. So that was essentially the pay cut instead of him playing out the year. So it's not that number, but Melo is saying that I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know, you can't make that. You can't make up $113 million off of endorsements. I respect Melo as a ball player, especially as a Knick legend. I love Melo as a Knick, but you know, that's the reason why we never really won with Melo, man. Because I think Melo thinks about Melo. And that's great for Melo. But what does that do for the team, man? You know, every step of the way with Melo on some level, it's always been about Melo. Melo. It goes and shows you the contrast, man, where Jalen is like, yo, I want to win one of these, man. I want to win one of these. And Melo is like, well, I do too, but not at the sacrifice of me. It's just different, man. That's all. It's just different, man. And, you know, it was just very eye-opening to see that from Melo, man. So let's get back to some Knicks news. Gerson Rosas, he's leaving the Knicks. You know, he played a very instrumental role in forming this team. You know, Leon Rose came in and pretty much got the monsters of executives to run this organization. And Gerson is one of the monsters, man, and he's leaving. And, you know, I think he kind of wants to spread his wings out there and get another shot at being the top executive. So hats off to him, man. You know, he's riding off into the sunset at the right time, man. We just won a ring, so now is the best time to leverage that. You know what I mean? So hats off to him, man. As far as some actual team news, the 5th, which was yesterday, was the deadline for the Knicks to make a decision on Tyler Nickel, my guy Double Nickel, and him possibly going back to college, man. It's a possibility that he might entertain going back to college. This is a theme now that's been happening with players. It's essentially a draft and stash kind of thing where, you know, instead of it being just for European players, now it can happen to college. It could go back and play. We'll still own his rights, so it's not like he's gone. He just won't be with the team for the next season. And again, the August 5th deadline for that was yesterday, and there was no news of what happened. So I'm assuming that Leon Rose is trying to cook up something to keep him on the roster. I want to see him on the roster, man. I mean, I don't think a 5th year in college will really help him. I think what he is what he is, and he just needs to work on being just way more efficient at it. But he's pretty much good to go, but I do get it. We have a lot of firepower, but let's not get too crazy, man, because injuries do happen, man. So Again, another thing that I'm half and half on, man. I'm hoping it works out because I do like seeing double nickel play, man. But it would be very tricky. I don't see him getting much minutes with this team, especially if we do remain healthy. He might be G League bound, so I understand it, man. Maybe for his development, it will help that he just continues playing. But I just don't like him playing in college. I don't know how much he develops there. I think G League would help a little bit more. But that's just my opinion. Mo Diawara was back on the court. There's some pictures out there, some videos out there, him playing. He had a left ring finger repair. I guess he hurt his left ring finger. Maybe that's the reason why he was struggling in those 2 summer league games. Wasn't really getting much from him. I thought it was because of the role he was playing as well. They was putting the ball in his hand, which is not something that he's going to be doing on the actual team. But no, maybe he was injured, man. Maybe he wasn't really fully right. So, pretty much good for training camp. A pretty quiet week all in all, man. Pretty quiet week. All of the moves has pretty much been made. You still got some guys out there that, people are waiting and seeing. Klay Thompson, whether or not Dallas is going to buy him out. DeMar DeRozan, where he's going to go. There's a picture out there, him wearing some Toronto Raptors shorts. So maybe that's something that could happen. The Toronto Raptors is still in a bind when it comes to the Kawhi Leonard thing. Will that happen? There's a report out there saying that might not really get settled until 2027. So we'll see about that. So it's going to be interesting to see those other dominoes that aren't major pieces, but could pay some dividends if these players go to the East, man. You know what I mean? If Klay Thompson goes to Miami, you know what I mean? That can do something, a little something. How much of a something? But could do something. You know what I mean? DeMar DeRozan ends up going to Toronto and Kawhi goes there. Does something. It does something. But I think regardless of the fact, we should still be the favorites. Seen so many lists throughout this whole time, and everyone's talking about OKC and San Antonio. Knicks is 3. I'm seeing people putting us as 4 and Philly at 3. We're still the favorites, man. As I mentioned, between continuity and between us actually getting it done and having that muscle memory of getting it done and everybody knowing their roles and everyone learning, and especially with Cat being the hub and us having a new way of doing it, an eclectic way of doing it, we're still the favorites, man. So I ain't buying nothing else besides that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. It's again, man, a quiet week. It's gonna be pretty much a quiet month in Knicks news, but I'll be putting out some content. Work has me in a bind, as I mentioned early on, so I'm doing as much as I can, man, with as little time as I can do. But yeah, man, Mad Knicks here. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to my Mad Knicks short channel. Follow me on @KMords_. And y'all already know, man. Let's go Knicks.